I don't know what happened there. Hi, Becca. Thanks for making it back. What the hell happened? Is this the same one? How is it still the chat's still on the screen? I'm so fucking. Why do you have to do this? Computer, why? Why? Oh, Jesus. I didn't kick you out. I think somebody kicked me out. Something kicked me out. Anyways, that's so weird. Sorry, guys. Thanks for being here. We'll wait for a minute for people to see how it's still there. Like mine was still going for a while. This is the secret chat. What in the Hi Arizona. Hi guys. Thank you so much. We'll take this opportunity to talk about my weird eyebrow. And you ever know how you like yeah, the old chat is so weird. It's still up. Maybe if I take it down and put it back, it'll reset it. Oh no, don't press any other buttons, please. You probably are the cause. Oh, there we go. New chat, new colors, new life. Um, I was just gonna say, you ever sleep on your face weird and then like one of your eyebrow, the hairs are weird? It felt like it was YouTube, Jay, because I didn't do that. I do need my hair did. Oh, so bad. Oh, it's really bad now. But I didn't do that on purpose. Regardless though, I am glad that some of you are back. I'm gonna stop pressing buttons on my phone all so that we can just continue watching this. Uh, yeah, super weird. Super. Okay, so put her hair back up. I'm gonna have to put on our list. Oh, this girl's talking about ADHD. That's right. And then, like, the ADHD gods smiled upon me and were like, you stupid bitch. Oh, well, Kimberly, we're very well aware that eyebrows have lives of their own. Mine are two different people. I've accepted that. It's because I learned how to raise this eyebrow. I taught myself how by like going like this. But oh, I'm frustrated that that just did that. But it's not anything we can do about it now. All we have to do is continue on. So if you're just joining us, and this is the first time you've been to this stream, you're going to be wondering what the fuck we're talking about. Well, we've been watching this for an hour already in another stream, but you didn't miss anything. So let's keep going. This girl has ADHD, so do I. That's a great reminder for a med check. Somebody want to put a med check? Hayden Harris! Welcome! Yeah, subject matter jurisdiction was an issue. But yeah, med check, med check, med check. I should take my meds too, because I'm going to the gym after this. Oh, that button doesn't work, Paisley. Remember? Remember? That button doesn't work. You have to do it on the computer.
For the date, and I would reach the 10 days, not realize that it was the time of the court date, and then I'd have to call to reschedule it because I didn't have a proper way to serve them other than mail for a little bit. And then I had arranged something to possibly go and serve them in person because I couldn't afford to have an out of service or like a company do it for me. And the sheriff's department needed like a $200 deposit. I couldn't do that. And the day that I had gone the second time to go do that, they were out of town, and the person that I had there to serve them had a conversation with them, and they had requested that I do it by mail. So then I did finally do it by mail just this last time.
Okay.
So I didn't even actually know that they had received service because I had requested a return receipt and I hadn't received it yet.
Okay.
So I was not aware that they even knew about it.
So the Davidsons found out about it because someone came to whoever was at the house told you that someone had been there, or how did you find out about all
Initially,
these?
it was through our attorney.
Oh, so there was contact.
Our attorney submitted documents to the tenant back in June.
Okay.
Our attorney was observant and learned of the hearing on August 25th and suggested that we appear.
Okay.
Then through my own court document review, I learned that, well, here we learned it was the 29th, but then my review of court records beyond that let me know it was now moved to October 27th. So
Okay.
the court document says that I need to submit evidence for both to review a week before, which I did.
Yep. All right. Well, I think we're going to go forward. I think it would be an unfair burden to the Davidsons to set yet another hearing. You started this claim. You're the one who has the issue. $1,500. Is that still what you're saying they owe you?
Yes.
Okay, and just kind of give me a thumbnail sketch here. So it's a deposit that you put down for a rental?
Yes, it was a security deposit that I put down. It was $1,250, and then the other 250 is for the cost of gas and the filing fee.
Okay, so it's really the $1,250, that's the principal.
Yes,
Okay, so was this a rental here in Thurston County?
yes, it was. It
And-
was
Okay, and what was that address?
318 Cottonwood Court, I believe.
All right, and when did you put this deposit down? When did you not get it back?
So I was supposed to move in on November 1st of last year.
2022?
Yes.
Okay, and then
it
you
ended
moved
up-
out when?
It moved up to November 3rd, and I put the deposit in on the 3rd. I did it in cash because my checkbooks hadn't arrived.
Well, we'll get in the details. So you moved, so when did you move out?
I moved out of the rental May 31st.
Of this year?
Yes.
Okay, and you expected your deposit back when?
Within the 21 days after. I moved.
So by about June 21st is what
Yeah.
you expected. All right, so now, from, you didn't file anything other than a notice, so was there a written lease that you were working with?
Yeah.
Okay, and that was. So you're going to be filing papers today to support your claim.
Oh. I do feel a little bit seen because I also have like document holders, etc. But I don't have all the documents I need for anything ever. Ever. Now I'm going on to drink my next soda. Or no, it's pop. But it's not pop. This is just water. It's just bubbles. Just water, 0 calories. But it's in a can, so to me, it's pop.
This isn't going to work. I cannot, you've filed nothing. We've been at this since July.
Yeah.
And the Davidsons have been here 3 times, 4th time now. And they've filed responses. And I can consider their exhibits as party, both sides can use anything that anybody files, they can use them, whether you file them or not, you can use them. And I'm not, at this stage, it would be wildly unfair for you to just kind of plop out documents and things that the Davidsons haven't had a chance to review, whether you think they've got it or not. And so I have to, make sure it's fair, and that's not. And I'm not going to have you just plop out documents here after 3 months that you started this claim, and you should have gotten those to the court right away when you filed the claim.
It's not club soda. This is just carbonated water or sparkling water. There's no salt in it. There's nothing in it. So it's not flavored. It's just bubbly water or carbonated water. Eau gazéfiée, eau gazéfiée in French. Um, I can't remember what else I was gonna say. Hold on. Oh, RLS. Rebecca. This ain't no regular casino. So getting them all matching doesn't necessarily win. But can you see the pay lines now?
With, maybe the August one or September one, and here we are now.
Right.
And so, so you can use, I think really all I can do here today is you can use the defense exhibits that you haven't reviewed, but you can tell me your claim, but I need a written lease under the law. And I don't think we're going to get there. But what I'll do is, why don't you map out what you think you're owed and why, and I'll hear from the Davidsons and see where we are, and if the difficulty of the evidence, maybe the evidence will fall on your side or not. But I'm not going to consider what you just brought to court today. And we're going to go forward today because you started this 3 months ago. Davidsons have taken 4 different times to be here, and you haven't perfected anything. But I'll give you a chance to tell me why you think you're owed $1,250 from them. So why don't you map that out for me?
So I moved in November of last year. I was only in the occupancy for 6 months, and I moved in with another tenant who had already been there longer than I had. I was replacing a different tenant who had moved out, and I was pretty much just there to. It was my first time moving out. It was the first time I'd been anywhere really.
So how did you give them $1,250?
I did it. I had cash. I withdrew cash for the first month's rent, and the deposit was a bank envelope. I'd ordered checks, but they just hadn't come
So you
in
gave them
yet.
cash. You gave them
Yeah.
$1,250 at least.
Yeah.
Okay. And you gave them cash in November of 2022.
Mhm.
And your understanding about that was what? What was that for?
It was for the security deposit, the damage deposit, and then I also gave them $750 in my first month's rent.
Well, we're just talking about the $1,250. That's your.
Hold on. Why in British Columbia you can't ask for more than 1 month's rent for a security deposit? Actually, I think it's even less than that. There's very strict rules where I live for that. And there's also an avenue for you to follow these things. If she was entitled to this money back and she didn't get it back, they would owe her like 3 or 4 times the money if they didn't pay her within the certain number of days. And that onus lies on the landlord. But what's interesting to me here is you can charge first and last months and a security deposit, no problem. The security deposit can't exceed 1 month's rent, is what I'm saying. She's paying $750 rent, but a $1,200 security deposit? That's odd to me. And remember, well, this is Washington State that we're looking at right now. So in Washington State, I'll look it up on my phone and we'll see.
Your claim, right? So that's all we have to talk about is what you are making this claim of. We don't go beyond that in
Okay.
just little bits maybe, but 750 you need to,
I just
Yeah,
it's
it's too much.
what I gave in the day.
because you have to give notice. So all right, so
A landlord may not request a fee or deposit to hold a dwelling or unit or secure that prospective tenant will move into a dwelling in excess of 25%. So they can ask for 25% as a hold or a deposit. Washington landlords can charge tenants any amount they see fit, and there is no maximum to security deposits. Wow. That said, the usual rule of thumb is to request the tenant pay the equivalent of 1 to 2 months' rent as a deposit. Wow. Wow. But your first and last month's rent go towards your first and last month's rent. Deposit, that seems absurd to me. That seems like a money grab. So you could say $5,000 when rent's 100 or 750. I mean, that's weird.
Did you have a written lease or agreement with the Davidsons?
I do have a written lease. We sat down, we went through it.
And what was your understanding of that security deposit?
That it would be returned to me if I kept the house in good condition under the areas that I would be responsible for.
All right, so you believe that it would be withheld only if the house was given back in bad condition?
Yeah, anything other than good condition. And it was
Okay.
what I believe was good condition when I left after the 6 months.
Did you do,
Did you do the walkthrough? Do you have both of those? That's the other thing you need to do. When you go to rent a place, the first day when you take the keys, you do a video, a walkthrough with the landlord. And then when you leave and hand over the keys, you do that video again. And that way there's no questioning about it. They have to give you that notice and tell you that it's not like that they're not getting the deposit back. Like you can't just keep it and not say anything.
when you moved in, did you have, go through a checklist of
We
moving
did.
in? Okay,
It was, I mean, I have it. It did not include the whole house. It only included the bedroom that I was going to be in, the main bathroom, the kitchen, and the living room. And under my understanding, it was not, like I said, it was my first time moving out, so I just figured that that was the way that everything was supposed to be. And then
was that your agreement with the Davidsons that you would be responsible and for that, your bedroom, bath, kitchen, and living room?
not in writing, but that was the only thing that was listed on the walkthrough
All
for
right,
those areas.
and then when you moved out, did you do another walkthrough?
No.
No, and why didn't that happen?
When we had initially spoken about what the move-out process was going to be, it was my understanding, as it was on the written lease, that I would be able to occupy until midnight of the 31st of May. We had spoken about, and the phrase that they used was exit interview. I couldn't find any information specifically on what that was, besides one website that said that it was basically a meeting where you went over and talked about how it went and what you'd like to do better next time.
So why didn't you have, what happened when you moved out? Tell me about that.
So we had scheduled, sorry, my mouth is really dry. We had scheduled a meeting verbally to have the exit interview. I had said, hey, I get home from work this day, we can do it then.
Was it before May 31st?
It was on the 31st.
Okay,
At 6 p.m.
so what happened then?
So I received a call when I was on my way home from work from the other tenant, and he essentially told me like, hey, they're already here, they're already cleaning stuff. Why don't you have your stuff out? And I was very confused and concerned because I had been under the impression that I didn't have to have all of my stuff out, that I had like a mattress and food and stuff. And
How did you tell the Davidsons that you were moving out?
We had said that we were going to be gone by the end of the lease agreement.
How did you tell the Davidsons that?
I mean, it was in the lease. I
So
believe
the
I
lease was up to
sent-
May 31st at midnight, and that was it.
Yes.
And why do you think it was midnight?
Because that was the day that it said on the lease.
In the written lease, it said you had until May 31st at midnight to get out.
It didn't say midnight specifically to get out. It said that the lease would be terminated on the 31st,
Okay, all right.
which, under my understanding of Washington law, would have been at midnight.
All right. Okay, so you were intending to leave at the end of the lease when it terminated May 31st. All right, so that's the notification of the Davidsons. You didn't re-up or anything like that. You didn't talk about
I had
re-upping.
thought that I would be going to, but I was not able to get a roommate, so I notified them. Oh, that I would be leaving.
So how did you notify the Davidsons that you would be leaving on May
I
31st?
believe over a text message.
Okay, and what did you tell them?
I said that my brother wasn't able to come and live with me, so I'd be leaving the original lease agreement.
Okay, all right. And then, all right, so did you give the Davidsons information on how to contact you to get you back your deposit?
They have my parents' address and they have my phone number. I did give them that address. Tina asked for it. I
Okay.
gave it to them.
Did you do that on or before May 31st?
Yes.
All right, and how did you do that?
Text message.
Okay. So you gave them a phone number and an address to mail information to? That's a yes? We're
Yeah,
recording,
yes.
so you have to answer out loud. All right. All right, did you receive anything from the Davidsons after the 31st about what's going on with your deposit?
I did. I received, they might have filed it if they have already filed evidence. I received a letter from their lawyer dated June 8th. I think I received it. I keep everything on my phone, so that the date that I received.
Hiya, Colin. Thanks for dropping in. I'm assuming Bengals is a football team. Also, guys, we are now at 99% on the Fitbit. We are gonna go do our ceremonial charger placement. If you're just new here, I lose my Fitbit charger constantly, every week, every fucking day, basically. And so we are, as a team, we're going to make this work together. So, because I have ADHD, this is the charger. You see, it's magnetic. It could be magnetic to things, but what we're going to do, put it into this box, which is a key holder. It's in the box. Close that, put that back there. So please, somebody remember next time when I'm like, oh my God, I have to charge my Fitbit and I can't because I don't know where the cord is. You can just be like, Paisley, behind you, remember? My Lush does not charge with that. Actually, William, you want to buy me a new Lush? I'd like one.
Secret that I took note of is on there. It's dated for the 8th. It says that we won't be receiving our deposit and that me and my roommate owed them another $304.90.
When did you get that letter?
Uh,
Or when was it?
It's dated for the 8th. I received it either the 12th or 14th.
Okay. So you get this letter and it says you're not getting any of your deposit back, but you owe us about $300. And then what did you do then?
I was upset and confused, so I went through the charges and the prices for things that they.
So they gave you an itemization?
It was not an itemization. It was a list of possible charges. There weren't any receipts or proof of installation or proof of purchase or anything, just what it would cost to replace them. And then also what was included as off of that list.
So what kind of things did you, why $300? What were they telling you?
Sorry, say that again.
Why $300 that you owed, or why you didn't get anything back? What were they telling you?
Deposited $12.50. My roommate deposited $12.50. It says that the chargeable damage to the property was $2,804.90. So out of the $2,500 that we had both deposited, there was a remaining $304, and it was not. There wasn't. It didn't really include a way to go about how we would pay that money, like whether it would be a 50-50 split or if only one of us had to.
Was your roommate still living there?
No.
Okay, so you terminated, both of you terminated on the date of the termination of the lease. All right. So I do have something here, and we will hear more from the Davidsons, but so $300, and then you didn't know what to do, so what did you do next?
I spoke with my roommate. He told me that he thought it was a scare tactic and that if they really wanted it, they would pursue it, but it wasn't like the amount wasn't worth it to pursue.
So what did you do?
Well, that was money that I had been expecting to have back. I was trying to go back to school. I thought that I had done what I could to do a good job. I either worked overtime basically every week. I had just finally got the car after riding a bike for 6 months. That was money that I had been planning to have.
So what did you do about that letter? What did you next do?
I cried.
So what did you
sorry.
do other than filing a suit? Did you contact them? Anything?
Pretty much, I just spoke with my roommate.
Okay. And
I
so,
didn't want to contact them because I didn't really know what else to do.
So the next thing you did was just file the small claims.
Yeah, and I spoke with my older brother who had a pretty long stint where he was dealing with.
So I don't need to hear about your brother, and I can't really hear what he tells you.
Yeah.
And frankly, I've been kind of loose with hearsay here, just because I understand
I went.
people don't have lawyers here, but I'm not giving a lot of credence to statements by other people through you, but I'm happy to let you kind of flesh out your story. So how did you leave the house? So you believe bedroom, bath, kitchen, and living room, you had to make sure we're in good shape.
Yes.
So you received this letter that says you're not getting anything back, you owe us $300. Of those things, anything you wanted to comment how you left the house and why you think your entire $1,250 should come back?
Well, again, the exit interview, I was under the impression that I did not have to be out then. I thought I still had another 6 hours to do what I needed to do. So when they arrived there and I got the phone call before 6 o'clock that they were there and they were cleaning and they were moving stuff, when I was not there, I rushed to get everything out. I called my mom. I asked her to help me move the mattress earlier than we expected to. We got my mattress out. We got the rest of my stuff out. And I did what I could to make sure that I had trash and that I had food out of the fridge and that it was as clean as I could get it because I felt like I was intruding. When I came back to get the final load of things to take to my storage unit, they were speaking with the new tenant and I believe gave her keys. She put like some cat litter and stuff in the garage.
So that was May 31st before midnight.
Yeah.
So you expected to come home from work, spend about 6 hours getting the place pulled together and getting moved out.
Yeah, maybe have the exit interview like in the kitchen talking for a little bit and then have time to do everything I needed to do before the lease was up.
Okay. All right. And so you're saying that you're owed this $1,250 because you were prevented from moving out and putting the place back to fair
That's a small
condition.
portion of it. The other portion is that there are damages there that I don't believe I should be held liable for. I really can't be held liable for.
Tell me about that. What damages and why do you think that?
So if I don't know why I don't have other paper in here. On the initial walkthrough that they gave us, or that they did with me when I moved in while the other tenant was already occupying, it included, it only had partial.
I'm just gonna say, unless this place was trashed, 28 or 25, yeah, $2,800 that these landlords are asking for is unacceptable for 6 months in a suite. No, you're not entitled to redo carpets, paint, any of that shit after 6 months. No, they're just using this. They charge for rent and they're taking advantage. This is, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Also, hi, Mike.
It had the bedroom, main bathroom, kitchen, and living room. Yeah, living room, kitchen, dining room, bathroom, bedroom, and then other areas. It only lists the heating system and the lawn. And in the walkthrough, there are damages listed on the walkthrough as already present on my arrival that are listed as owed in the letter
Okay.
to me and the other tenant.
Can you map those out in particular for me?
So it says here, condition on arrival, living room, floors and floor coverings, kitchen. For example, the stove and oven simply says clean and working in the walkthrough, but in the appliances, it lists a cost of $118.80 for the drip pans on the stove to be replaced.
Okay.
Again, I don't have any proof of reference for when we left because there was no walkthrough done when we left. It's honestly very confusing.
So the drip pans you're being charged for, but on the walk-in, you remember that the stove wasn't indicated that that was a problem.
Yeah, it just
Okay.
says clean and working. It doesn't say anything about the quality of drip pans or if they would need to be replaced or if that was something that we.
Is there anything else taken out of that $1,250 that you think I should know about?
Bedroom, it says, it lists as Corey's bedroom, as I socially go by Corey. Floor and floor coverings, it says traffic area somewhere, visible patchwork. There was damage to the carpet when I moved in that they had talked about. They said that they were going to replace it when we left. And it was damage that they already knew that was there. It was from the other tenants that lived there. He had kids. And then it listed the cost for the carpet replacement as over $1,000 for 2 bedrooms at 120 square feet each, when my bedroom is only listed on my walkthrough.
You're understanding that that $1,250 was used to replace a carpet, some drip pans, and anything else?
The bathroom sink for $111. There was also another thing.
But what was it said and how did it compare to your meter?
The bathroom sink is listed as in the half bathroom. It says there was 2 permanent dings in the ceramic sink basin and that the vanity cover sprinkler was gone. However, the half bathroom is not listed on my initial walkthrough.
And the half wasn't the bath that you thought you were?
I used it maybe twice the entire time I lived there.
There was a different bath that you thought you were responsible for?
Yes.
And so it sounds like we're kind of almost there to your 1250. So anything else that you thought you're being charged for that you should have gotten your 1250 for?
Well, there's also a pretty hefty charge for a cleaning rate. It was for 10 hours of cleaning for $519.75. Like I said, they got there before I was even home and started cleaning. Uh, so if I had been able to clean out the way that I had initially planned to under the lease agreement, I don't think that that would have been as costly as it was.
Was there a cleaning fee assessed when you moved in?
There was a cleaning fee listed in the lease agreement. The initial, it changed between when we had the lease and when I moved out after that 6 months, just due to inflation. The cleaning fee initially,
You were charged a cleaning fee
yes,
that you paid up front?
no,
No,
No.
you did not pay it.
um,
Somebody else paid it.
it was taken out of the deposit.
So it's part of the 1250?
Yeah.
Okay, and how much was that?
So it says labor rate per hour for the carpet and pad removal for 3 hours was $317.92. And then the cleaning rate per hour from May 31st to June 1st for a total of 10 hours was $519.75.
So how much of your security deposit did you understand from the lease was a cleaning fee?
It was not, it wasn't
Was it
divided like
delineated?
that.
No,
Um,
okay.
It says that we, in the lease, if I can find the specific sentence, just that we had to clean before we left. Oh, there we go. Never mind.
Okay,
It just says that we had to clean before we left, leave it in good condition. It says for the yard here, it says respectable condition for the yard cleaning. It meets owners and neighbors standards, but they're not really disclosed what the owner standards are.
well, all right, so this issue is about the 1250. I think I have an understanding of what
Yeah.
you gave them 1250 for in cash when you moved in, as a quote unquote security deposit. And you thought you would get it back if you had left the place minus wear and tear,
Yeah.
the law says, in good condition. And you had a roommate. All right, so, and then you're saying that if you had had until midnight on May 31st, then you could have left the place such that you would receive 1250 back.
I believe that I would have received the majority of my 1250 back to begin with because of the damages that were already there when I moved in. That I was told would be replaced when I left, but not at a cost to me.
Okay, so the majority.
Yeah.
What do you
at
think you're
least.
owed?
I think I'm owed what I have. There's quite a bit on here. There's only one damage that I can even partially claim responsibility for, and it was something that I had spoken to Tina about. It was for the bedroom closet door guide for $7.42. When we had left and we were cleaning everything out, I told her aside and said, hey, I don't know how this broke. I don't know if it was broken when I got here because it wasn't something that we had checked, but I noticed it. And I wanted you to know that it was something that I noticed. So you can go about that however you want to go about it. And it's listed here as a damage. That's the only thing that I can even
Okay.
like be held for.
All right.
I will say she's made a better case than I thought she would. Oh, it's not an Uncrustable for my bra. I wish. I'm too poor for Uncrustables. They're so expensive here. Honestly, that's like a treat for me to get Uncrustables because it's like $6 for 4 sandwiches. I often don't have pants on, y'all. You can't see. You have no clue what's going on down here. Um, Anyways, I wonder what we're gonna hear from them. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Also, med check, guys. I gotta go find the meds. I gotta find them.
There's also a list for the damage to the fireplace and trash burning. We didn't use the fireplace the entire time I lived there. I actually had it boarded with a piece of poster board, and I do have a picture dated from March that shows the fireplace boarded in the background. It was drafty in the living room, and we used it as an office. So
You came in after this lease began with your roommate, though?
yes, he had already been living there. I'm not exactly sure for how long, but I think it was over a year.
Did you have a separate lease in your name, or?
We both signed a lease. So when I moved in, we signed one dated the 3rd
Third of,
November of 20.
so you did sign a separate lease with your name in this
Mhm.
property?
Yeah.
And the term being out to May 31st.
Mhm.
Anything else before I turn to the Davidsons?
Bathroom plumbing. There is aside from the fireplace and the bedrooms and all the damage for that, it says that the yard was in a condition that required grass seeding. And I do know that it was seeded by my roommate. He went through, he did all of that, like April, I think, when it finally thawed out. And it says that it wasn't seeded and that the lawn hadn't been mowed, but I do know that he had been mowing the lawn. I don't know when the mower broke. I didn't know about that, but it was, he had been mowing. I've been aware.
Okay. Need to see if there's any other questions I have here before I move on to the Davidsons.
And if I may, I'm not sure, you said, but it's just to focus on the 1250 right now.
Well, that's what your claim is.
Yes.
The issue about court fees, that's an aside. What I'm looking at is what's your principal claim?
There is all right, I'm not quite sure how to word this. But part of why I believe that I was not given back what I was owed is because they had a bias towards my roommate. And that is, there's evidence of that in the paperwork that they sent from their lawyer. Given that there wasn't really, aside from my understanding that I had rooms that I was responsible for, that I would be held liable for, that I tried to keep in good condition, even because it wasn't specifically divided between us, how much we owed for each thing. I think that this was their way of showing their bias towards him, and I ended up just kind of, the money that I had given was sort of just caught up in that. If you have the copy of the chargeable items and pricing from the letter that they sent us, it's the last paragraph. And there are other instances, but they're not physically reported. It's just things that I experienced.
All right. And so how would that affect you?
Because it was not written specifically what each of us owed, like, for example, my roommate would have owed this money for this thing, and I would have owed this money for this thing. It was just all grouped together. The money that I had given them in my security deposit for damages that were already there when I moved in was included as part of the money owed for those damages out of the 2,500, not something like, sorry, I don't know if I'm explaining this well.
No, I think you are. I understand.
Yeah, so they used that money because it was part of the security deposit, not because it was something that I had damaged, just because it was money that was there. So in the end, I didn't get it back, even though it was something that they were trying to hold my roommate liable for.
And you believe that you weren't liable for anything but a bedroom, a bath, living room, kitchen.
Yeah, and there's also, because the walkthrough was not really clear and specific, and there was no exit walkthrough done, a whole misunderstanding with the exit interview, all of that. The only thing that I can even really, that I really believe I can be held for is for the bedroom closet door track.
Okay, $7.50 some cents. Okay.
Yeah,
And why did you believe that you were only responsible for your bedroom, bath, kitchen, and living room?
because that was all that was listed on the walkthrough. Those were the only areas that we went through when I moved in that I checked.
Okay.
When I moved out, that was the only areas that we like glanced over. We really just kind of stood in my bedroom and talked for a little while, and then they did their own thing. Like, I was moving stuff. I felt embarrassed and anxious and upset, and I was trying to do my best to not anger them while the whole thing was going, because my roommate was there and they were arguing and it was just a mess, and I wanted to be gone. So
Okay. All right. Well, let me turn to the Davidsons and hear from them and review whatever. I'm looking here at exhibits, so I am listening, but so not at the same time. Happy to hear from you both. Who's going to lead the charge? Okay, Ms. Davidson. So this is all about, not about whether you get anything back. You didn't file a counterclaim. The question is this $1,250 deposit. And so did you receive $1,250 from Ms. Jordan?
$1,250, the damage deposit for the rental of the home was $2,500.
Did you receive $1,250 from Ms. Jordan?
$1,250 from, yes.
Okay. Can you, in your exhibits, is there a lease agreement, a written lease agreement?
Yes.
All right.
There is a legal contract that both of them signed for taking possession of the home on November 3rd.
Okay, so I do see a Corey Jordan. I'm having a hard time reading your go by Corey often.
yeah, it's
Okay.
short for Corey. I hyphenate my last name with my stepdad's.
Okay, got it. But you didn't file your claim that way. but
No,
that's
because
fine.
it's not legally recognized yet.
Got it. Okay, so November 3rd, I see something here signed. Jeremiah Witt, maybe, and maybe,
That was my,
well, I'm sorry.
sorry.
That's okay. I wasn't clear talking to the Davidsons. So I'm not sure, is that your signature on the document you give me?
Jeremy signed as tenant, Corey Tess Jordan Robinson signed as tenant, and I signed as landlord.
Okay, so it was
Page
actually your
6.
signature, not Art. Okay. And where in this is that $1,250?
At the very top, it says damage deposit received in the amount of $1,250 / Corey Tessa Jordan.
I'm not looking at the right exhibit.
It's page 6 at the top.
Page 6. Page 6 of what you filed, or page 6 of your?
Page 6 and the exhibits.
Okay. All right, page 6. I've got that. All right, the $2,100 per month, like $350. Seeing that, I'm seeing the $2,100 per month. What paragraph are we referring to?
Are we at the residential rental home contract?
No, I'm on page 6. So,
Proceed.
I'm just gonna look at what you filed. So help me find it. I've got page 6 of your documents, if that's not what it is. I've got page 7, which, let's see, what paragraph, what's the title of this thing?
Let's go back to the table. of contents.
Sure. Okay, page 5 through 16 in your table of contents, you say is your residential home contract. And I've got page 5. Let's see, is the RCW. I've got page 6 starting with, it's cut off. Paragraph 1 is cut off May 2022. Number 2 is
Oh, the
paragraph
top
tenant shall
part is
pay
cut
rent.
off?
Yep. We've got paragraph 2, tenant shall pay rent in the amount of 2,100, which is handwritten in. That's page 6. Page 7 starts at number 3, a $50 fee will be assessed for each return check.
She didn't get the top part.
Okay. And then I've got attachment to lease rental agreement for residents.
Okay, can we just come to an understanding since in the scanning by the court clerk, part of it was missed?
Because the page is longer than the 8 by 11.
Was this sent in electronically?
I know I came down and
Okay.
provided it to the clerk.
Yeah, that's okay.
19.
All right. So how about you hand that over to Ms. Jordan? Ms. Jordan, I want you to kind of look at that carefully and say, is this the lease that you're contesting?
Yeah, it's the same copy.
Okay, so I'll consider that then. Why don't you hand that up, Mr. Davidson, and I can look through this. All right, so residential rental home contract. Where, I know this is yours now, so I'm looking for, okay. Between carryover, Jeremy, 1250, damage deposit, receive the amount of 1250 for Tessa Jordan. All right. And where is that defined in this contract? Sorry, I've got it here. You know, it would be handy. Can you just at least get the very top portion of both of these pages? And we'll get this back to this. So I'm looking like 1 through 3 or something, whatever you can do. I'm gonna just copy the top portions and then I'll give that back to you so we can discuss more it better, because you're gonna need it to look at. Then we can give this back to the Davidson so we can talk some through it. All right. Now that you've got that, if you could direct me in your,
Page 9 and then 10.
well, what paragraph are you talking
I'm
about?
sorry.
That's more helpful.
We're at the very top.
Wherever it is that this deposit is defined as to what it is. Is it defined anywhere in here?
Only through the chargeable items and pricing sheet and the walk-in.
So the lease, does it say anything about what the deposit is? Security, refundable, non-refundable, cleaning, anywhere in that lease that you want to send me to? I'm not finding anything other than the very top portion where you say 1250 damage deposit received. Is there anywhere that defines what that damage deposit is?
Only through the contents of the home contract.
Okay, so home contract. Where's that? What home contract? This is outside the lease?
There's 5G.
Okay, so go to paragraph
Five.
5G is where you're directing me. Okay. And 5G, get there, all right.
Specific. to
So
five.
tenant's obligation, tenant shall pay. What I'm looking for is
5G.
where, is there anywhere in this lease that talks about what this deposit, damage deposit means? Refundable, non-refundable, security deposit, cleaning, anything other than the very top language, damage deposit received.
Right. In 5G, a specific statement describing the condition of the premises at commencement of tenancy is attached hereof. Please see move in, move out inspection agreement.
Okay, so there's nowhere in this lease that talks about what this damage deposit is.
Correct.
Okay. All right, and then in out, there was there was.
They're worse than she was. At least she answered all the questions pretty promptly, I'll say, and not tried to circumvent anything. She even said things that were negative about herself. These people are being suspicious.
A walkthrough at the beginning of this. And did you have that in writing here? Is
10,
that,
11, 12, 13 exhibits.
okay, so condition on arrival, I see. And that was done with, I understand from Ms. Jordan, it was done with her.
It's a legal document they all signed.
Okay, so this move in, move out,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes,
the move in portion was done with Ms.
move-in.
Jordan.
right. And
And
then
what was your understanding about what she was renting?
she's renting the home.
Okay, so the whole Cottonwood, what was that? Not,
728 Cottonwood Court Southeast, the entire home she was renting.
okay, so not just your impression, not just, is there anywhere in this?
Hold on. There was already a tenant living there. How on earth would she be able to rent the whole home? I bet that's why they do 6-month leases, Becca. Because they do this, they fuck people over, allegedly, take their money, in my opinion, and then do it to young people that don't know any better, allegedly. Yeah, that's what I feel like is going on here.
Lease that says just that a bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, living room?
No,
Okay. And are there other, well, there are other areas in this move-in, heating system, air conditioning, lawn garden, stairs, hallway, bedroom, quarries, that would be who we're talking about here. Bathroom, dining room, are there other rooms that are of,
She
in
took
this place?
responsibility for the entire home when she signed the contract.
Okay, and there's more than just one bedroom, one bath, a kitchen, living room?
Correct.
Okay, how many bedrooms?
3-bedroom,
Okay,
kitchen, living room, den,
okay,
2 bath, a bath and a half bath.
all right,
2-car garage.
all right, so the above premises, okay, that's paid, paragraph 2. So you received this 1250, what about the, did you provide some detailed accounting within those 21 days after move out?
They both signed a cost sheet at the.
Did you file that with your exhibits? Is that
Yeah.
what I'm?
Page
All right.
9. They
Okay,
agreed to the cost breakdown.
so prices noted here, 35 higher due to inflation. Is that what your chargeable items and pricing, is that the itemization that you sent?
Correct.
And you had a place to send that to Ms. Jordan?
Yeah. So
Okay.
they signed it on November 3rd when they moved in. Agreed.
Did you send an itemized after? So
Yes.
let's talk about
The
May
attorney did.
31st.
Yes.
Okay, do you have that here?
Yes, that would be 30, 31, and 32, and 33.
Okay, so. All right, so I've got chargeable items and pricing, hourly rates and fees. Is that the itemization that was sent to Ms. Jordan?
Yes.
Okay, so that's the chargeable item is 2804, less the deposit 2500, amount due 30490. Okay, and so that was sent when and
Attorney letter, June 8th.
okay. Okay, so this June 8th to Tessa Jordan at 62nd Avenue Southeast, and that was the address that you were provided by Ms. Jordan?
Correct.
Okay. And tell me what happened on May 31st then. Do you agree that May 31st was the end of the lease?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened you've heard from Ms. Jordan what happened. What happened on May 31st from your perspective?
So we made prior arrangements for 6 PM on May 31st.
How did you do that?
Text.
Okay, so, and with Ms. Jordan?
Or a phone call.
Okay, with Ms. Jordan?
Yes.
So how'd you do that? So tell me about that
So we
arrangement.
arrived at the home in time to do that 6 PM.
Well, how did you make that arrangement again? So what did you do?
It's a phone call.
All right. You talked with Ms. Jordan or you texted her?
I believe we spoke. on the
And you
phone.
said we'll be there at 6 for what
For
purpose?
I termed it an exit interview, but it was the walkout.
Okay. What's your understanding of the end of this lease?
So.
When did you think this lease ended?
This lease ended at midnight on May 31st. and She
Okay.
was given ample time. We were there.
Okay.
We were there at the 6 PM because that was convenient for her.
All right.
She had every opportunity to do.
Well,
what
tell
she
me
needed.
about what happened. So I'm hearing that you had another renter already coming in, you were cleaning, you were moving things out. What happened from your perspective?
So on May 31st, we had arranged for that walkout. We had also arranged for a party that was interested to view the home.
Okay. And
That person was just there to take a look at the home. There was nothing else arranged with her at that time.
so were you or anyone from instructed by you cleaning the place up?
No.
Moving items out? No. All right. So you thought you'd go through an exit interview, as you called it, a walkthrough. What happened at 6 o'clock?
So at 6 o'clock, I asked to do the walkout and there was no arranged, they declined.
So how? I need to
Verbally
hear about.
declined. They said,
What did
I
Ms.
heard
Jordan say?
I did not hear what she responded. Jeremy said it's not necessary, we're not.
So you didn't hear from Ms. Jordan? Was she in sight or
And she was along with Jeremy. I just didn't overhear.
standing next to him or
Yeah.
what? So you saw her.
Mhm.
So she could have heard what Jeremy was saying at the same time. This was face to face.
Yes.
And so the other renter said, we don't want to do it. And did Ms. Jordan say anything?
She just, I guess, nodded her head.
You
She
don't
just walked
remember?
out, yeah.
Okay. Walked
So I
out of
gave
the
her-
house
I
or
gave her
walked?
the opportunity and it didn't.
I'm trying to understand what happened, not
Okay.
what you think you did.
Okay.
So you're at the Cottonwood place and you're face to face with Ms. Jordan.
Yes.
You hear from her roommate, but you don't hear from Ms. Jordan. And then you say, then what
I
happened?
asked for, let's do the walkout.
And,
She did not acknowledge yes or no.
okay, and then what did you do?
I let them do what they were doing.
Okay, so this was after.
Oh, she's a liar. She's lying. Through her teeth, she's lying. Ugh. I'm glad the judge has taken the time on this one because these people have been doing this for a while. And like you said earlier, they have a fucking pay list or a cost list that they sign when they move in. That's shady as fuck too. Fuck. Yeah, no. She deserves her money back. She does.
after 6?
Mhm.
Okay. And then what happened after 6?
They moved out.
Okay, how do you know?
They exited and handed me the keys.
Okay, at about what time?
Let's say approximately 8.
Okay, so 8 PM, you had possession and control of this place. All right. And who gave you the keys?
Did they just both hand us the keys?
Well, what happened was basically she was moving her stuff out.
So Ms. Jordan was moving things out.
Yeah, and the refrigerator was still full of stuff.
Mhm.
And then her mother came by.
All
I was
right,
picking up, helping her move out stuff.
okay.
And basically, I was cleaning the yard. the
So
whole
you were
time.
out in the yard cleaning the
yeah.
yard. All
9
right,
big,
before midnight.
oh yeah,
Okay,
cleaning the bags of garbage.
all
Okay.
right.
Then they were dumping their garbage in garbage bins,
Mhm.
clothing and what
They,
have
I
you.
just need to hear about Ms. Jordan.
Pardon me?
I just need to hear about
Oh,
Ms.
okay.
Jordan, not they.
So I was, okay, because her roommate. Anyways, Miss Jordan was just moving her stuff in and out, and her mom was helping her move the stuff in and out. I was outside, and the key was left on the counter of the kitchen.
Okay. So,
I didn't talk to Miss Jordan.
okay. And so you finally, somebody saw Ms. Jordan leave.
Yeah, we waited till 1 o'clock in the morning for her to
Okay.
come back to clean the place.
All
I
right,
was still cleaning the fire pit outside and cleaning the fireplace inside the house also.
all right. So 1 o'clock on the June 1st, then you had possession. Ms. Davidson, you're saying by 8 PM you had possession of this place. Is that right? And I need to answer out loud because we're recording.
Yes.
Okay, and then you're saying, Mr. Davidson, that you waited until 1 PM, June
No,
1st.
1 AM.
1 AM, sorry,
1
1
a.m. for
AM
her.
on June 1st.
Yeah. We get-
Before you started doing anything other than cleaning the backyard and the
Backyard, I started
fireplace.
cleaning at 6 PM.
Okay, but you didn't go into the house to do anything
No.
other than the fireplace?
Clean the cobwebs.
Okay, so what happened May 31st between 6 and midnight?
Cleaned the backyard, started to,
Mhm.
still had a lot to do in the backyard. And then basically I cleaned the cobwebs off and showed Jeremy, her roommate, the cobwebs and the filth
And you cleaned a fireplace.
and the fireplace
So
and the
then-
fire pit
And so did you leave the residence at some point?
at 1 AM.
At 1 AM? So so that took all that time.
And then it took June 2nd and June 3rd. to
So what
clean.
I'm trying to understand is, so you're saying you had repossession of this place by 8 PM on the 31st, and thereafter you took over?
Yeah, they
Okay.
never came back after 8 PM,
Okay,
except for her roommate came back. I think it was first part of June, because our current tenant,
well, that's all right. I just care about May 31st and
Okay.
June 1st at this point is what's relevant. All right, so, but you had possession of the place by 8 because the keys were turned over.
left.
Left behind, available for you. All right, so you sent this itemized list, and that was on the 8th, probably received around the 12th or 14th is what we hear from Ms. Jordan. And since then, anything else other than this lawsuit being filed from your point of view?
Pardon me?
Anything else, money exchanging or anything since you haven't received any of the 1250 or the 2500? Okay. Great. Anything else from your point of view?
Yes.
Just that we were notified, through text message, I was notified May 9th that she would not be renewing the lease.
Okay,
So at that point, we made the decision to start reviewing for other tenants. That person did not move in until November 3rd, when we had an opportunity to assess our.
November 3rd? of-
May,
June
June
3rd.
3rd.
Okay,
June
June
3rd.
3rd. All right.
So on May 31st, for that 6 PM interview to do the walkout, which was declined.
She lived there for 6 months only. he also said they spent all day, June 2nd and 3rd, cleaning the house, didn't he? This is suspect through and through.
Mind, and then for the rest of the time, we were just making an assessment of cleaning responsibilities for Art and myself and damage review. We gave her the opportunity, my understanding was midnight as well. We gave her the opportunity.
Then why did you show up at 6 p.m. and wait until 1 a.m.? That's fucking creepy. I would be pissed about that too. I have ADHD. All the cleaning would have been done in the last 6 hours and not with you watching.
To get her things out and to do what she needed to do with regards to that damage deposit until midnight.
All right.
She turned over the keys at 8 p.m.
The,
with no return to do what she needed to do.
the garage door was wide open, the back door was wide open, the front door was wide open till 1 a.m.
Okay. So
And
it was
then-
available.
It was available.
Yes,
All right.
I do have one thing I'd like to add, if you don't mind, is the current tenant. Believe it would be
So we're
page
planning on
34.
ripping off soon.
Well, this is about the 1250, not about damages. You didn't file a
Okay.
counterclaim. So
Right.
I'm not gonna consider anything about what the next, supporting your issue of damages. That's not
No.
before the court.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so this is the deal. So this is a lawsuit by Ms. Jordan against you for her security deposit or damage deposit, it was called. And from the written lease here and from the testimony here, Ms. Jordan, you haven't established your claim to a legal standard of preponderance of the evidence. So I cannot afford you that. I am not granting you, you're not winning this lawsuit because you just haven't proved it up. And so claim is dismissed for lack of evidence. And that's it for today. The other issues about whether you're getting your 1250 back or whether you're getting money for damages, that's not before the court. I mean, that whether you're getting it back is before the court, and I found that you haven't proved that up today. But as to damages, that's not before the court because it hasn't been filed by the Davidsons. And I'll write in order to that effect. So that's it for today. Then Ms. Jordan will give you a copy of this, just essentially saying that your claim is dismissed for lack of evidence, and then we'll give a copy as well to Davidson's.
Would I be able to ask for receipts for purchases?
You can do
under the
anything you
RCW?
want with each other. I'm not ordering anything here. So you can talk, you can figure it out.
Can she refile? What the fuck? Uh, I'm fucking floored. Can she refile?
But at this stage, you haven't proved your claim. So that's it for today. Let's give you a copy of that. It's not much, but, and then you both can be on your way. Come on up. You're welcome. Let's see, Dodge Excavation, Mr.
No, we're not doing another one. I'm pretty fucking disappointed in that. Well, take note, anybody who is listening, of the address. If you live in Washington, don't rent from there. That was ridiculous, in my opinion. I think she does have proof, Kimberly. they agreed that they got $1,250. They agreed it was for a security deposit or a damage deposit. They agreed. Like, there was so many. I don't understand what the judge. I think she just didn't want to handle it. I think it's just such a mess that she just didn't want to handle it, to be honest with you. And because testimony is evidence, right? Somebody testifying under oath is evidence. They they can consider it and use it like a piece of paper. There's nothing that a piece of paper is that's more special than somebody's testimony. So but because they agreed on the main points of this lease and I don't think that she didn't prove the case that they took her damage deposit giving without good reason. I don't get it. I'm 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 was it the fact that she should have come back before midnight and cleaned and didn't? I don't know. That was weak sauce. That was weak sauce. Anyways, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me today. It was a lovely brunch that we had. Uh, I hope, look at the sun's in my eyes. I'm going to the gym. I've almost talked myself out of it, but I'm going to the gym because we charged up the fitty bit. We're doing it. Right, MB? You doing it? I'm doing it. We're doing it. Please remember that I love you. I'm proud of you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, Larry Beaver. I forgot about Larry Beaver. Damn it. Also, please keep in mind for December, it's going to be an interesting month full of different things, including my attempt at Vlogmas and also the reading of the commands. So if you want to get your command in to make sure that it is read in the 2023 commandments episode, please think of it and come back so that we can add it. Love you guys. Bye.